welcome to Obscure Depths Fantasy Baseball Breakdown. I'm going to break down position by position my top 10, and we're going to go top 30 in the outfield. Haven't written down my pitchers yet, but I will let you know. Let's start with catcher. At number 1, I got Buster Posey, obviously defending MVP, World Series winner. You know what you're going to get there. Great batting average, probably a nice rise in power. He's just a leader, just a solid baseball player. He's going to spend some time at first base as well, which is going to help him remain durable. Number 2, I'm going to have Carlos Santana. I think Santana is really ready to turn the corner and become a nice hitter. He's not going to hit 250 anymore. I think he's going to come out and hit around 300, maybe 290, 285. Hopefully around 300 though, and he's going to have a lot of power. Going to drive in some runs. He's got some nice protection in that lineup now with Nick Swisher and Mark Reynolds being brought in, and I really like what he brings to the table this year. He's been there now, and he's just primed to have a career year there in Cleveland. Excuse me. Number 3, I'm going to have Joe Mauer. Mauer is just a nice professional hitter. I hate that term, but I just said it anyway. He's going to hit 300. He'll maybe hit 10, 12 home runs, but he's going to hit 300, 320, probably drive in some runs. This team is going to struggle this year, but I think Mauer's going to be a nice bright spot. He also does a little first base too, so that's going to hopefully keep him durable and healthy. Number 4, I got Yadier Molina. Molina had a massively insane year last year for this team. For his Cardinals team, I don't know if he can keep it up, but I think he's going to hit around 300 again, probably hit 20 home runs, and he just really lead this team. He's such a great guy in terms of in the clubhouse, and he's just a great leader, and he's going to get his 140 games behind the plate. Matt Weiters, this is a guy that's been in the league for quite a while now, and I think he's ready to take that next step and really just become a nice, solid hitter. He might only hit around 270, but I think he has potential to hit 20, 25 home runs and drive in around 80 runs. So, I don't think this Baltimore team is going to be very good this year either, but he's going to be a nice leader on that team. Number 6, I'm going to have Brian McCann. This might be a little bit of a controversial pick. McCann is getting up there in age, and he has missed some times due to injuries over the last few years, but the guy still has a lot of power. I think with the additions of the Upton brothers to this lineup, there'll be a little less pressure on McCann. He'll probably be hitting like 7th, maybe after B.J. Upton or after Haywood. So I think he's going to have some definite protection in the lineup, and he's going to see a lot of fastballs, and he's going to make some people pay. I think his batting average is going to be up more in the 250 range. It was 220 a year ago. I think it's going to be up there. And I think you're going to see 20, 25 home runs from this guy too. Number 7, JP Arencibia. Love Arencibia. This is another guy that's been around the league a couple years now, and I think he's ready to take that next step and become a solid player. I know the Blue Jays have talked about dealing him, and that might be a possibility if he gets hot, because they have some other options there. But I really like him. I like his power potential. I think he's at best a 260, 265 hitter, but I think he also has 25 home run power. So I really like this guy. It's probably somebody I'm going to be eyeballing in drafts. He's a guy that you can grab late, and you're going to get a lot of power out of him. And a lot of RBIs, too, with guys like Reyes and Rajay Davis on base. I think, he'll probably hit like 6 in the lineup, much like McCann. But, he could hit 20 home runs and drive in 85, 90 runs. That would be very nice. Number 8, I got Salvador Perez for Kansas City. This is a guy that's never been behind the plate for a full year. He missed some time last year. Had a nice season last year, hit around 300. But remember, he hasn't been there. He hasn't spent a whole season, and this team has an entire new starting rotation practically. So it's going to be an interesting year for him. I think he's going to come back down to earth, hit 270, maybe 15 to 20 home runs, drive in about 60 to 80 RBIs. Number 8, I have AJ Pierzynski. Pierzynski had a career year last year at a very old age. I think he's going to take a little bit of a step back, but he's going to be a nice guy for this team. This team has needed a catcher for the last decade, I think. Ever since Pudge left, this team has needed a catcher, and I think they finally found the guy. You know, he's going to be in the lineup at least 120, 130 games. He'll probably hit 15 to 20 home runs and drive in 70 RBIs. That's just my prediction. You know, this ballpark might be really nicely suited to his swing. The power numbers might rise a little bit above that, but I really like him in a Texas uniform. Number 10, this is a guy that's a little bit controversial because he's not necessarily a catcher. He is a couple days a week, though, and that's Ryan Doumit, another twin. So there's two twin catchers in my top 10. Doumit plays a lot of right field as well, and maybe a little first base too. So, and he's going to DH. So this is a guy that kind of moves all over the place. But given the fact that he's going to play DH probably a couple of days a week, is a nice factor when you got a catcher. I think you know, he finally was healthy all year last year, and he had a very nice year. Hit about 18 home runs, 270 batting average. There's nice RBI numbers. I look for those to rise up a little bit more. This guy's a little up there in age. He's 32. Remember, he's missed a bunch of time. That also could be counteracted by the fact that he's caught a lot of his career, but I think he's going to be in line for a career year. I'd like to see 20, 22 home runs from him, 60 to 80 RBIs as well, probably a 270, 280 batting average, and that's nice. And again, this is a guy that's catcher and outfield eligible, so you know, if you have a guy like, if you have one of those top guys like Posey or Santana, or even especially Mauer, if you have one of those guys and Doumit's out there late in a mixed league or an AL only league, you got to grab him because you need that backup catcher. And you know, both all the top three guys, Posey, Santana, and Mauer, are all first base eligible too. So, you know, you have that nice flexibility. Obviously, you know, if they're a nice solid bat, you want them in the catching spot because there isn't too many nice solid bats. But it's certainly nice to have flexibility within your league. This has been Obscure Depths Fantasy Catcher Breakdown. Thank you for listening and have a great day.